I'm Nicholas Alexander. I'm an actor, director, producer, and I'm coming to Canada to actually package two of my projects actually. So I'm working on a African refugee thriller. It's called Lords of a Lost Land, and I'm working on a psychological thriller about obsessive plastic surgery in the fashion industry. Oh man, I am a creative soul at heart. So I mean, it's just, getting to tell stories about, for me being, an African American man, and I have family from, underprivileged and underrepresented communities. And for me to be able to tell stories and voice stories, for people who don't necessarily have that voice, and then I'm a creative being. Just so many things inspire me, and I want to tell it through a certain medium. So it's definitely, I do it through writing and through directing and through first of all, I would say just stuff I see in general life, and then I watch a lot of movies. I'm a huge movie buff, a huge movie nerd. I gotta say, one of my favorite, if not my favorite actor, is Daniel Day-Lewis. So I watch a lot of his stuff. There Will Be Blood. It actually I wrote a franchise about futuristic slave trading, and it inspired a bit of the main character. So I pick my inspiration from various different spots. It can be from stuff I see in life, relationships that or interactions that I've come across, and then just various books and films and stories I've heard over time, and some even from family and friends. I got a lot to say, but I'll condense it to a little. The first thing is you have to be persistent. It's a very tough industry, and it's an unforgiving industry. But I think a lot of people they come into it, and there's not a lot of. I think the biggest thing is there's not as much guidance as if you were to get into a traditional job, and so there's not a general roadmap, and so you kind of have to figure it out on your own. And the only way that you really find success in the industry, there's the few who get it right away, is staying consistent and staying persistent. And you eventually create relationships, and you create and find your own roadmap and your own way to navigate the industry. So I think that's really, truly, I think the biggest obstacle for that. Canada is unique to, it's like no other place, no other festival. The Sundances, the TIFFs, the Venices, they're all amazing, but Cannes, you come here, and everybody is just so open. People who you would meet in Los Angeles or in other cities, London, it's not as easy to build a bond or a relationship or start a conversation with that person elsewhere. When you get here, everyone's got their guard down. They know that usually if you're here, typically you made a commitment to come across the border, or come from whichever country you came from. You got accredited, and they just seem to be a lot more open. And if you do your work, you research, where you're at, who you're trying to connect with, and you come at them respectfully. Usually you'll find that you can form some good relationships.